All right, it's time for the three big things you need to know. I've got some great news for you. I bet you're ready for some good news. Interest rates are dropping and they are dropping nicely. We are on the road to some better times. I want to show you a graph here of the bond chart. So you've got a pretty good idea of exactly what's going on. So here's a copy of the bond chart. As you can see over here, we want bonds to go up. Okay. But this is what's happened since the Fed cut the first Fed rate. They've gone down. We don't want them to go down. We want them to go up. So here's where we are today. As you can see, these lines here, these are all moving averages. Now we have pierced above the 25 and the 50-day moving average. We're right at the 100-day and the 200-day moving average. Once we pierce above that, it could be smooth sailing for some better interest rates. So having said that, a lot more people are looking to get into the market right now. We're seeing a lot more activity. My new applications are way up. So good news. Congratulations, everybody. Is it time to refinance yet? Not if you're looking for debt, not if you're looking for reduction of rate or elimination of PMI. But if you're looking for debt consolidation, maybe you got a little bit too heavy on your debts and you got to consolidate. You've got equity in your property. Probably not a bad idea to give me a call right now. But if you want to drop your rate, drop your payment, then I created a VIP list for just my clients. So I would notify you when the time was right. Right now, the time is not right. Now, I know most banks and mortgage companies aren't going to tell you that, but I'm going to tell you that. There you go. That's the first big thing you need to know. Second big thing you need to know is that I'm teaching a home buyer class for first-time home buyers this week. Well, come Tuesday, the 18th, from 6 to 8 in Winter Park. The address is attached to this notification. So if you wouldn't mind, just register for the class right away at webringyouhome.com, because I've only got 35 seats in this room. You know, anybody that's renting, having a baby, needs to buy a home, wants to learn how to do it, wants to know what kind of programs are available for them, is what DPA programs or down payment assistance programs may be available. How do I fix credit? How do I negotiate a real estate transaction? How do I get closing costs paid for me? You better attend my class. Go to webringyouhome.com, register right away. The third big thing you need to know is, let's talk about the CFPB. We saw Trump shut down the CFPB, at least temporarily, last week. And now what's going to happen? First of all, let's talk about what the CFPB even does. Okay. So the CFPB was created in 2010 to supervise and make sure that predatory lending was under control and make sure that consumers had a place to complain about banks, mortgage companies, or financial institutions if they were doing something wrong. Maybe they didn't correct your escrow. Maybe they overcharged you. Maybe they discriminated against you. Could be any number of reasons. But this was the entity that was policing our industry. Now, some things about that I thought were very good because it did reduce predatory lending and some bad apples in the industry. However, it got a little bit fat. And I think that trimming down the fat is a good thing for all Americans. However, let's just understand what the CFPB does. They regulate me. If you were to complain about a mortgage company or bank, that's who you go to. And believe me, when that phone call comes into a mortgage company, they are going to do whatever they can to fix the problem. They don't want the CFPB on their back. So that was good for consumers. They enforce 18 different consumer laws. They regulate 3,400 different banks and financial institutions, 3,400 of them. Only the big ones. They're the only ones they're really watching right now. Cross Country Mortgage is a big one. We're the largest retail lender in the country. So we are always under the gun. We've had no complaints. We have no issues with the CFPB. But you want to realize that banks do things that aren't right. They're banks. I mean, you look at the fees and fines that Wells Fargo and Bank of America and Capital One have had. Do you know that Capital One was fined because they overcharged $63 million to veterans that were overseas? These are things that the CFPB checks on. So I don't know if the CFPB should be shut down, but if we don't have the CFPB, then each person that complains is going to have to go to the state attorney general. We don't know how the state attorney general is going to deal with banks that are not in your state. So those things remain to be seen. Those are the three big things you need to know. Register for my class right away. Get your application made if you want to consolidate debt. If you're a first-time home buyer or you want to move up, then call me right away. Rates are getting better. Now is the time to look. Thanks. Have a great weekend. God bless each and every one of you. And don't forget, happy Valentine's Day to everybody. What a great day to celebrate. Take care.